what I typed inside here because I cannot remember a lot of things nowadays. I still remember who I am though, so that's a good thing. Okay, a religious leader in Akka, I do not know his name. I cannot remember his name. Does anybody know his name? Maybe you can help me with this. Actually went down on his knees and begged Baha'u'llah for 1 hour. He said, God forbid, who has the power to make you a prisoner? So he insisted on Baha'u'llah moving out. He said, you have kept yourself in prison. It is your own will to be in prison. And now I beg you to come out and go to Mazra'i. It is beautiful and verdant. The trees are lovely and the oranges are like balls of fire. Oranges like balls of fire. Well, I guess that's how he described it all, how vibrant the oranges are, very bright orange and beautiful. And it is something which Baha'u'llah has not seen for 9 years, you know, this beautiful green, something which we all take for granted and we want to destroy and make into parking lots. So, yeah. After this, Baha'u'llah decided, yes, okay, finally he agreed, and then after 9 years of grey walls, he finally moved to the house of Mazra'i. And after living in a house of Mazra'i, as you can see, this is the Baha'i holy place is written there. This is a recent photo. He stayed there for 2 years. Suddenly, there's this beautiful country house, which is, we will all know very soon which country house. It's actually the final one, I think we all should know. Became vacant. You know why it became vacant? Actually, that place is kind of expensive, but because during that period, suddenly the area, they had a plague, so people were all getting sick, so the rent were dropped. As usual, price of property will drop if something bad happens, but that does not happen in Penang, so well, we don't hope for such thing bad to happen, but yeah. Okay, so finally, next, Baha'u'llah moves to the house of Baji. I think I missed out one part also. Oh, while he was at the while he was at the house of Baji, the next slide, yeah. While he was at the house of Baji, I got the slides mixed up. Someone very important, an important writer, Edward Grenville Brown, came, and then he heard about Baha'u'llah, and finally he interviewed Baha'u'llah about how great Baha'u'llah is. These are some of the books that he wrote: Literary History of Persia, the Persian Revolution 1905 to 1909, and that is how the man himself looked like. Let me just read a little excerpt of what the interview was. He said in his interview, one passage, this is how he described Baha'u'llah. A mild, dignified voice bade me to be seated, and then continued, praise be to God that thou hast attained. Thou hast come to see a prisoner and an exile. We desire but the good of the world and the happiness of the nations, yet they deem us a stirrer up of strife and sedition, worthy of bondage and banishment. That all nations should become one in faith, and all men as brothers, that the bonds of affection and unity between the sons of man should be strengthened, that diversity of religion should cease, and differences of race be annulled. What harm is there in this? Yet it shall be, these fruitless strifes, these ruinous wars shall pass away, and the most great peace shall come. Do not you in Europe need this also? Well, he was a white man, so he thought that this is what we want, we all want, actually it's what the whole world wants right now. It is not this that which Christ foretold. Yet do we see your kings and rulers lavishing their treasures more freely on means for the destruction of human race than on that which would conduce to the happiness of mankind. That these strifes and this bloodshed and discord must cease, and all men be as one kindred and one family. Let not a man glory in this, that he loves his country. Let him rather glory in this, that he loves his kind. This was his description of Baha'u'llah. I cannot find ways to describe it better than him. I think it would be very difficult, but basically we all get some idea. Otherwise we wouldn't be believing in him, because this is, yeah, I'm lost for words. And then finally, next slide. This is the house mansion of Baji. This was supposed to come before the book. That was a previous early photo in black and white, and this is a recent photo of the house of Baji. Next slide. And finally, do I need to introduce? This is the shrine of the Bab, the final place of this mini part of my story. Baha'u'llah visited a town in Haifa, and during his visit there at Mount Carmel, he pointed to a spot to Abdul Baha. He told Abdul Baha that this is where the holy shrine of the Bab, the seat of the universal house, should be established. And at this spot, this is where the greatness we can see that today we have everything we need there, but hopefully the whole world will realize that soon. Yeah, so there's no need for all this politicking and everything. So, one last para. Baha'u'llah raised the banner of universal peace and brotherhood and revealed the word of God to humanity. Although the powers of the earth combined their forces against him, he was victorious over them as God had promised him when under the chains of the Seer child. That is a different story. During his own lifetime, his message revived the hearts of thousands of people, and today his cause continues its onward march. The forces of the entire world are not capable of preventing it from achieving its ultimate goal, which is to unify mankind in the universal cause and in one common faith, which is the Baha'i faith. That's all. Thank you.